right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Today we're going to be doing our back to basics. We'll get started and I'll show you the agenda. So today we're going to be doing it on Sweepstakes. This is Sweepstakes is our most basic application. And we'll show you that if you know how to do Sweepstakes, it's going to make every other contest a lot easier. So we'll show you Sweepstakes. I'll show you give you a brief overview of our help page, our idea studio, and then just some more resources to get you going. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our homepage. So this is going to be your homepage. This is where you're going to see all of your campaigns. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free. We do have the questions and answers. I have Ryan Garcia here. He's going to help me out with questions. And also, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Austin. I'm the newest member of support. This is my first back to basics. So if I'm a little all over the place, that's why. But yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free. Either we'll answer them live or Ryan will be able to get to those. So this is going to be your homepage. This is where you can see your active campaigns. You have a few stats. But to get started creating a sweepstakes, you can either come up here and click create a campaign and we'll be able to do a sweepstakes. Or if you're in your campaigns tab, you're going to be able to click create a campaign and you'll be able to see all your campaigns here. So we're going to click create a campaign. We're doing a sweepstakes. So we'll do that here. You'll probably have a few more applications there, but you can put in your title of your campaign, which you're going to want it to be labeled and what people will see. You can also, this is starting from scratch, but you can also check out all of our templates. We have a lot of different templates with graphics and everything ready to go, and you're able to download those and mess with the graphics any way you want. So you can start with that, but we're going to start from scratch. And I've got some graphics. We're going to do a free coffee for a year giveaway. So we'll do coffee giveaway. Giveaway and start campaign. Oh, I misspelled that. We'll fix it right here because you can change it right here as well. So we'll kind of start over here. I'll go over some settings, then we can go over the setup of the actual form fields you got going. So this title, I'm going to change that real quick and fix my spelling error. And that's where what's going to appear on your campaigns page. You're going to be able to see, oh, coffee giveaway or whatever you want to have them labeled. You'll be able to see those there. For your prize, this is what you're going to be giving away. So we're going to be doing free coffee for a year. All right. And then after you got that set up, you can choose, okay, when do I want this campaign to run? So we're going to have it start next Monday, and we will have it run all the way for 2 weeks. Let's have it run till the 30th. So for 2 weeks, people will be able to enter. Then you can click on the more settings here. We have a few other options. The first one is manage assets. This is if you're, this is especially, you're going to notice this if you're using our templates. This is where all of those images are going to be. So if you need to take the background and do anything you need to change with it, put your own branding or anything like that, you can come here and you can do that. You can also upload your own here if you want to have all of your images, anything that you've set up. As far as images go, you can put those in here so you have an easy place to store them. Next, we have our terms and conditions. This is where you can type in whatever your legal that you need in here. Any legal stuff you can put in there. And then we have our email disclaimer text. This is when if you're sending out confirmation emails. This will have like whatever disclaimer you need. People will be able to see whatever you need for this. And then we have tags. This is where if you want to, it's really useful for seeing what kind of promotions are people entering. So this one, I'm going to tag it with coffee and giveaway. And it's summertime, so we'll do summer and free. You can do anything, whatever you want to put in there. You can see, okay, I've seen that a lot of my users are entering contests with this tag or this tag. And so that's easy for you to see what are people engaging with. Then next we have our promotion language. This is if you need to do it in Spanish, Portuguese, French, whatever you need. That's what this form will be defaulted to. That's what that will change. Notification email. This is great for if you want to get a notification every time somebody enters. Now, I will be careful with this because if you have a lot of entries, this is going to flood your inbox. But let's say you have maybe a sponsor and they want every time, let's say you have a car dealership. And every time that you have someone enters, they want that hot lead. They want to be able to reach out and contact them. So you can have in that notification email, you can have some information about the user so they can just take care of those really quickly. But if you don't want a lot of emails to your inbox, especially if you have a high number of entries, I would be careful with putting this in here. Recap email. This is great for, okay, I want to know, when my contest ends, I want to find out all the stats about it. Well, this will give you just a nice overview of everything that's going on there. You'll see just a few stats on how did my promotion do? And it's also really useful because if you're running a lot of competitions, then you can have, oh, I got this one's finished. So it's a nice way to organize and know, hey, what's running and what is finished. You can get that here. Fine print, this is going to be what's going to appear at the bottom of your contest. So on the preview, I'm going to say we're giving away coffee, but you can put whatever you want here. And this will appear. Also, I forgot to mention it. Anytime if you're curious what your contest is going to be looking like on the user's end, you can click this little preview button and you can see, oh, this is what it's going to look like. And if you see down here, we're giving away coffee. That's where this fine print will appear. This is also where your terms and conditions will appear if they want to click and they can see whatever terms and conditions you put in. You can also view the desktop, but you can also view the mobile view. And I will show you how to do the setup on the two of those in just a moment. But at any time you want to see what it's looking like, you can do that here. You can type in a test email or whatever and see what it's going to look like all the way through. But back to fine print, so that's what that's doing. Hide footer terms, this is just going to remove that terms and conditions provided by blank. That's where you can change if you want that to appear or not. White label, that's just going to remove our logo from the bottom. Hide notification email user data. This is for that notifications email that I had up here. This is going to make it so that you get a notification that there's an entry, but it's not going to give you all the information about the user or whatnot. But if you want to say, okay, I don't necessarily want to remove all of the email notification user data. If you don't want it to show nothing, you can choose individually, and I'll show you this a little bit more in depth on the settings of these, but you can do include in notification emails. So maybe I want the first and last name, but I don't want it to show, we can do street address or something like that. Maybe I don't want it to show where they live. You can turn that off so that won't be shown in the notification email. And then cap entries, let's say you're giving away something and you only want, maybe you have tickets and you only want the first 100 people to enter to be able to win. You can choose however many people you want to allow to enter. But if you're going to have a lot of entries, for something, maybe you probably wouldn't use that too often. So that's kind of a short rundown on the settings portion of it. There are a few other things, publishing options. I'll go over that one in just a moment. But let's get started on the actual form setup itself. And again, like I said, if you have questions, please feel free to put those in and we can answer those for you. So first things first, this background is just looking kind of boring. It's just white. So I'm going to upload an image. But before that, if you don't have an image with this background color, you can choose to make this whatever color you want. But if not, if you want to have a background image, you can choose one. And I've got one here. And that will pull up. And now we've got our background image. So it'll look a lot nicer. And if you click on this preview, you can see what that will look like on the user's end. Now, if you noticed, I also was able to drag this form around. You can move this wherever you want. You can also drag the actual contest to be whatever size you want. You can make it shorter, longer, whatever you want to make it fit within your needs there. One other thing that I'll show you, usually a lot of times we recommend that you try and get a sponsor. So if you're going to, these overlay boxes, you can add overlay box. And these are really useful for being able to set up your sponsors. So if you click the little settings here, I can upload an image. And since we're doing coffee, we can do Starbucks. And now I have a little logo with my sponsor, but I can also click on the link portion of this and you can do starbucks.com. And so now if somebody clicks on that, they will be taken to your sponsor's website. And you can have multiple of these. Like I have another one for, move this over here. We've got another one for Dunkin' Donuts. And then you can do the same thing and you can have their website go there. So, and you can put these however you like. You can also, with these overlay boxes, you can put text in them. So let's say I'm saying we're giving away coffee or whatever, or enter to win. Let's do enter to win coffee for a year. And then I can select this. I can change the font size, and mess around it if I want it to be bold or anything with that. Change the color of it. Like I worried about this black messing with my image there, so I'm going to actually change it to white. You can do whatever you need to with those. So there's some of your options there. You can also drag these boxes to be bigger, smaller, however you need them to be. You can move them around and do that. So now let's get into the actual form field itself. So I'm going to start here with step 0, or our use gate, our user gate. This is if you're, let's say you're running a contest and it has alcohol involved or something, and you don't want minors to be able to view it. You can use this use gate, this gate, and turn it on, and you can make it so that they have to be at least 21. Now, I will note that this is not going to, let's maybe say one of the things you want to collect from your users is how old are they? This will not collect that data. This is just making sure that if they are allowed to enter. You can change the title of what you want it to say of your age gate, the description. You can also hide the background. So if you have a graphic that has something on it that you don't want minors to see, you can hide that background until they're able to see it. So that's going to be step 1. You only really need to use this if you're trying to limit who's coming into your contest. Now, like I said, if it's not going to pull in the age of the user. So that would be something you need to add in on step 2. And you can add a birthday field and see when is the user's birthday, and they can input that there. So it will not save it from here. But step 1, this is going to be how users are going to sign in. Now, we have one other setting on here that you're going to need to worry about. This is how often may people enter. And this will be, you can do once, twice, up to 10, or even infinite times per day, per hour, per week, month, total for the whole contest. So you can choose how often you want people to be able to enter. You can also choose what they're able to sign in with. They can sign in with Facebook, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, whatever you want. I will say that sometimes this gets a little funky. So you see how I've got my enter button and there's this. If you just deselect email and then reselect it, it will make it look all pretty and nice. That's one thing I see a lot. So look out for that. But you can, they can sign in with any of these. And the only thing that this is grabbing, it's not going to grab anything about their account or anything. The only thing that it's going to grab is their email. That's all we're trying to collect here, so that we have something to link it to in your database. So this is just where you can set up all that information there. You can also put a header, sign in with blank, whatever you need to there. Step 2, this is where you're going to get most of your information about your user. You see, I've already got, first name and last name are in there by default, but we also have, a plethora of other fields, and we have articles that explain some of these if you need to. But if you have any questions on them, we're happy to help. But there's lots of different things you can get about your users. So maybe I want to know the zip code, make sure that the users are within my area. You can also drag these fields around wherever you like them to go to kind of organize them. I try to make sure that, things like this get added to the bottom instead of having like having it at the end. It kind of looks a little funky. So anything that has like a drop down, just to make it look nice. Some of the other ones that you'll probably use a lot are agree to terms. This will link to your terms and conditions. If they click on that, they'll link to the terms and conditions you have here. So if you can set that up, you can also, another one that is often used is a list opt-in. So if you want people to subscribe to your newsletter lists, you can have them sign in or sign up here. Some of the settings that you have on some of these, and also if you ever need to, you can click on this little wrench. That will open up your settings. We also have this one will duplicate. So if I want another first name field, or if I just want to delete the field, in general, you can click the selects. But to get into the settings of each field, You can go to the first name. Oh, this one doesn't have a lot of settings. Let's go into something that has a few more. Okay, so you can have the address line on this one. Required for entry, you can choose what things users have to enter. Maybe there's certain things you're like, we don't necessarily need their phone number, but if they'll give it to us, if we can get that, that'd be great. But you're not going to require it. You can choose that option here. You can also change the labels. So maybe street address, maybe your street home address or work address. So you need to change something like that. That will change what will appear here. And after a certain length, it won't appear in the box. But the other setting that we have is repeat type. So if you have people that are coming in here multiple times, you're allowing multiple entries. This is where you can change how that's going to show up. So the first one is always show. This will always, every time they enter, they will see this. It won't be filled in. They will have to fill it out every time. This other one is autocomplete after first completion. Once they put in that information one time, it will automatically fill. It will still show up. So if they need to change it later, they can, but it will autofill. And then this one is hide after first completion. So after I've entered my first and last name, it won't ever ask me for my first and last name again. So I don't have to enter that in every single time. So also, if you ever don't remember which ones these are, there's a little tooltip, and that kind of tells you what is each of those are. And a lot of our settings also have tooltips. So if you're curious what some of them do, sometimes you can look and see what each one means. So that's kind of some of the basics of step one. Let's see, make sure I'm just checking my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, one other one that I feel that I see all the time that I think is just a cool one that I wanted to share here. That's not necessarily for sweepstakes specifically, but our keyword plus field I think is really cool. And I just wanted to share a little bit about this real quick. This, you can schedule keywords, and you can, say I want to have red and blue are my keywords. And you can put up to 100 keywords in here, and you can choose the start and end time when you allow people to enter those. So if you're running that kind of contest, this is one that I see a lot and I think is a really cool one to use. So that's another option. Other than that, I think that's everything for step two. So let's move on to step three. Step three is everything in here is going to be for bonus entries. So, users will get just one entry for putting in all this information. But step three is where you can really start to get some more things. This is a really great place. You saw on some of the fields, like we have our social fields, you have your Instagram follow, Facebook like, all of those. You can put those on step two, but they work really well in step three because people are incentivized to interact with it because they get bonus entries. So let's say I'm going to add an Instagram follow and I want to add a Facebook like, and let's do a YouTube subscribe. All of these you can get bonus entries for, except for like us on Facebook. Facebook has a certain rule that we're not allowed to give out bonus entries for liking a page on Facebook, but you can still put it there and people will get entries for that. Or sorry, won't get entries for that, but they can like your page for it. But then you can also, you can put in the username for your station or whatever you're trying to do. And you can, this will take them to your Instagram to follow or subscribe. So this is a really great place for this. Another one that I see that is really good for step three is we have a geolocation field. This one's really cool. So this one, you can input a set of coordinates, and you can grab this from Google, but sometimes they're a little inaccurate. So whatever the actual location is, I would recommend, just pulling up on your phone, see what are my coordinates right now. But you can have, go visit our sponsor. Let's say you're working with a car dealership and you want to give out an extra 50 entries if someone actually goes in. And also I would recommend for this one specifically, since it takes a lot of extra work, I would incentivize it pretty well. But you can choose how close they have to be, and they can get bonus entries for just going to visit your sponsor. So that's a really cool one. And also any of the fields that you have, you could technically, give bonus entries for entering a first name, last name. Any of these can be used here. It's just some of these other ones like social fields work really well. So one last one I wanted to show you is survey. This is a cool one. If you create a survey within our platform, you can actually link it here, and users will get bonus entries for sharing their opinion, giving that extra thoughts and interacting with your survey. So you can choose, I don't have any built on this account, but you can do that here. So that's step 3. You also have your share options. There's this auto share to Facebook. It'll automatically share to Facebook if you have that on, or there's the share buttons. You can turn that on or off. You can also change how many bonus entries are awarded for sharing, or for any of these other ones, you can change how many extra entries they get for interacting with that. So that's step 3. Step 4, this is just your thank you, saying, hey, thank you for entering, good luck. Sometimes people will have put like coupon codes in here for entering. You can also use a URL redirect, and this will, you can have this go, hey, I want to send it straight to my sponsor, and you can put in your sponsor's website there. Or you can even like the show the points summary. This is going to show any bonus points they got for interacting on this step 3, how many entries they got. And then this mode, this is just, let's say you're doing a contest live at a location and you're having people enter in on an iPad. You can use this kiosk mode, and this will allow people to, it'll refresh after 10 seconds and the next person can enter. So that's the basics of the actual steps itself. One other thing that we have about the form that you can mess with is there's this design feature down here at the bottom. You can change the font brightness. You can change if you want multiple columns. So let's say I have on step 2, maybe I have quite a bit of information. I don't want my form to be so long. You can make it extra wide and do that. But also I would, mention that if users come in and they see, hey, I have to enter all this information to get in, a lot of times they'll be deterred from that and they won't enter. So keep that in mind. But you can change some of that. You can change the theme color. If you don't like this blue, you can change it to red, whatever color you want there. And then just a few other settings, the background of the form itself, the opacity. So if you want your background to come through a little bit more, you can do whatever you need to there. So I think that about does it for the setup here. I will go over there is the mobile setup side of this. So anything that you do to your form here will carry over to this over here. You can see it has all the same things that I had set up. It will do the exact same thing. The only difference here is you need to upload your own image. Like, so we have a mobile. Let's see if I have the mobile one. I think it's this. Well, there it is. And you have to upload your own image for that, but you can do any of that here. The other things you can do here is upload your grid image. If you're using the grid to embed this on your website, you can upload that stuff here as well. And your Facebook share image, change what it's going to say. Same thing for a tweet. It'll do all of that. And then the publishing options, this is just going to show you how do I get this on my website, the embed codes, all that kind of stuff. If you need more help with that specifically, we can help you out with that. So that's the setup for that. There's the email setup. This is your confirmation emails. If you want to change, hey, I want to have my image for it, I can change. This is where you could put your coupon codes, anything you want to put in here. You can also have the shares down here. So if people want to share it, you can do all of that there. Oh, also for the mobile setup, I forgot to mention down at the bottom here, this is how you're going to add your mobile sponsors. So like on the desktop setup, I had these two. You can upload those down here and choose. Let's do that. And then my mobile will appear down here at the bottom. So that's how you can enter all of those. Few quick tabs up here at the top. So that's the setup. This is going to be specific to Sweepstakes. But we also have our stats tab. This is just going to give you some, brief statistics about, hey, how is my campaign doing? What are people entering in? Who's sharing it? All that kind of information. And then once your competition's done or contest is done, you can come and download your entries on this download tab. Now, maybe depending on your company's policy, you may or may not have the ability to do this, so you won't even see this tab. And then you can also choose a winner. This is where you can choose, you don't want people in the last 30 days, or you want to choose a different number of winners, or I only want to choose it based off of bonus entries or referrals or whatever. You can choose that here, and you can see the previous people that have won. You see you can remove them from the list, all of that here. So that's the rough setup of how to do that. Let me show you real quick our help page if you ever want to get there. Up in this top right corner, there's this little tiny question mark. If you open this up, this will take you to our help page. We have articles here. Also throughout our platform, we have this little chat bubble. At any time you need to help, you can send us a message and we'll get in there and we can help you out with whatever. So, and then the last thing to show you is our ideas page. I don't think I have that one just ready. Let's see. It's our ideas page is ideas at audience.io, I believe. Oh, there we go. And this is where you can see we have our national campaigns, we have help articles, all a bunch of stuff, case studies, anything you want to see here is on our Ideas Studio page. So I think that about wraps it up though. So let's go here. And does anybody have any questions, anything we can help answer with? Thoughts, feelings, hopes, and dreams? I speak kind of fast, so if you need me to go over something again, I'm happy to do so. Or we also have our help page, like I said, if you need any help with that. Wait for just a moment, see if anyone needs anything. All right, well, seems like nobody's got any questions. If you do, here's our resources. You can email us support, you can chat in, you can call us. There's also our help page. Anything you need help with, we're happy to do so. So please feel free to reach out and have a wonderful day.